Hi, my name is Fabio Ashby, and this is Darigaaz the Igniter. So this is my general, Darigaaz the Igniter. Mostly he's just there for the Jund colors, of course black, red, and green. Don't usually play him too often. His ability really isn't all that great, but again, he gets me the colors. So starting off, we got a set of basic lands. This deck runs more basic lands than a lot of other decks will run. That's because the main theme of this deck is land destruction. So starting off with the lands that matter, we've got Dust Bowl. Of course, it's recurable land destruction, storing every turn, hits all the really important lands that your opponent's going to want to keep in play. Wasteland, another similar land, but it's more of a one-time shot, but it's also recurable with Life from the Loam. Tectonic Edge, again, another Wasteland. Volrath Stronghold allows me to reuse my creatures. Bojuka Bog, again, another underrated card. It's uncounterable for the most part for graveyard manipulation. Anyone that's running any type of recursion, you definitely want something like this in it. Another staple is Maze of Ith to stop any creature that is going to be troublesome, generals alike. Reliquary Tower, this deck doesn't really abuse it that much, but sometimes you will find yourself with more cards in hand because you'll be destroying a lot of lands, so you don't want to get rid of them. Mirror in the Moaning Well is also another great card. It allows you to sacrifice things that you want to recur, gaining life in the process. Temple of the False God is another good land that lets you mana ramp. Now, and we do have a cycle land package in this deck, and I'll get into that later. We have Barren Moor, Tranquil Thicket, and Forgotten Cave. Now, Darigaaz Caldera, it's another mana-fixing land. Lets me drop a land and fix my land count, but also do funny things by maybe later on returning like a filter land or a cycle land, things like that. Tainted Wood, just another mana-fixing land. Llanowar Wastes the same, Gilt-Leaf Palace is the same, Twilight Mire, Dragonskull Summit, Rootbound Crag, Verdant Thicket. Now we get into our creatures. Another staple here that I think is in green EDH would be Sakura-Tribe Elder. It's a great blocker early on, lets you fix all your colors. It's also recurable with any type of reanimation, so it can just keep getting you lands after land after land. Next up is Eternal Witness. Of course, another staple, get anything back you need, regrowth on a stick. Now next we have Yavimaya Elder, again mana fixing, card drawing, it's also great with recursion. Now Hag Hedge-Mage is another card that people don't really see play. The reason I decided to include this is because it's another Eternal Witness. You get to get anything out of your graveyard back on top of your library, so if people think, oh finally I dealt with that witness, well, you didn't deal with Hag Hedge-Mage, you can keep doing the same thing that Eternal Witness was doing. Not as great, but still, it's another recursion tool. Shambler, one of the creatures that can actually destroy a land, but not only can destroy land, destroys planeswalkers, artifacts, anything that's going to give you trouble. Again, it's creatures, so it's reusable. Oracle Mul-Daya. Ramp is something that a lot of people underestimate in EDH. Being able to play out your big spells faster than your opponent is going to really put the game in your favor, even in multiplayer games. Dropping things that your opponent can't deal with really is the name of the game. Of course, Solemn Simulacrum, card draw, and mana ramp all in one convenient package. Anarchist. This guy is sorely underrated. Actually, I do believe he did make it on the MTG Salvation top 25 red creature list. There are so many great red sorceries, or even just any sorcery, that you're always going to want to keep getting back. Demonic Tutor, Tooth and Nail, things like that. He has great synergy with Tooth and Nail too, because you can play Tooth and Nail, get any creature you want, plus the Anarchist, and get the Tooth and Nail back if they already dealt with your witness. Shriekmaw, again, reusable creature destruction. And we got Acidic Slime, another creature that is multi-purpose, destroys any, creeping molds, anything on a stick with Death Touch is really great too. Makes a great blocker. Primeval Titan is a staple in any green commander deck. I mean, he can get any 2 lands that you might need, whether it's just to fix your colors or go get your tech lands. Krosan Tusker, reusable mana ramp and card draw as well. Charnelhoard Wurm. This guy is great. He's a 6/6 on 7. A lot of people kind of look at him and think, yeah, he's more win-more. But this deck really can put the pressure on your opponent by denying them lands. And when you do that, they're not able to answer him, so you can keep getting back either your land destruction spells or your land yourself to get everything back you need. Verdant Force, just a 7/7 beat stick that puts counters on each player's upkeep, so in a multiplayer game he can get out of hand pretty quick. Woodfall Primus, again, is another come into play, destroy either a land, artifact, planeswalker, whatever you need to blow up. Now, Sundering Titan, this guy is a beast. He's pretty easy to get out in this deck with all the ramp you have. When you're playing against a multiplayer deck, most of the time multiplayer game, you're not really going to be blowing up any of your own lands. He's not too great against monocolor decks, but again, when you're playing in multiplayer decks, that's not really going to be an issue too much. And being able to recur him and come into play and leaving play, he just really puts the hurt on your opponent. Terracodon, again, another come into play, blow things up.